Hello everyone. There are a lot of students across India demanding for justice who have given the NEET exam. But what is the NEET exam and why are they demanding the justice? NEET, which stands for National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, is an examination conducted every year by the NTA, which is the National Testing Agency. This exam is given by lakhs of students across India who aspire to be medical professionals. This exam is of 720 marks. In 2022, around 18 lakh students gave this exam. In 2023, the number increased up to 20 lakhs, and in 2024, around 23 lakh students appeared for the exam.
So to understand this better, let's understand the subjects and the scoring system of the NEET exam. The paper is mainly divided into 4 subdivisions, that is physics, chemistry, botany and zoology. Each of these 4 subdivisions carries 45 questions each. Each subdivision is further divided into section A and section B. So the section A comprises of 35 compulsory questions that are to be attempted by every student. The section B comprises a total of 15 questions, of which 10 are compulsory to be attempted by every student. So that makes a total of 45 questions from each sub-subject. The total questions of the paper are 180 questions. Now let's understand the scoring system of the exam. So for every question that you attempt right, you get 4 marks. But for every question that you attempt wrong, you get a -1 mark. And for every question that you leave unanswered counts for a 0 score. The NEET exam took place on 5th May 2024. It usually takes a month for the results to be out. The original date declared for the results was 14th June 2024. But it came as a shock to many when the result was declared on 4th June itself. But it was not only the date of the result that came as a shock to many, it was also the marks obtained by the students. When the results came out, a total of 67 students scored a perfect 720 on 720. But why is this a big deal? The exam is said to be very competitive and the difficulty level of the questions is also very high in these kind of exams. So scoring a perfect 720 marks is very difficult. Although it is not impossible, there have been students in the past who have scored a perfect scoring, but they were only 2 or 3 in number. Whereas this year, the number has leaped to 67 students scoring a total 720 on 720. What came as a bigger shock was that 6 students of these total 67 were from Haryana itself, having consecutive seat numbers and were placed in the same exam center for the exam. Do you think these 67 students scored a perfect scoring based on their merit itself? Or was there something bigger at play?
The three important and unfortunate things which happened during this examination this year was: number one, the paper was leaked before the examination in Bihar and Odisha. Number two, center hijacking. Number three, the introduction of grace marks, which was never done before.
During the time of the exam, a lot of news was circulating which pointed towards a paper leak. In fact, in Patna, 15 people were arrested after an FIR was filed against the paper leak. This news also reached the High Court when lawyers of many students came together and demanded a re-exam owing to the paper leak.
In few centers, the center officials took around 10 lakhs from few students. Why was this done? During the examination, the students were told to, just act in front of the CCTV camera that they are filling the OMR sheet. But later, the officials themselves fill the OMR sheet so that they can score good. So if we technically see, a student has answered all the 180 questions and all are right, he or she will be getting 720 marks. If the student has left one question, the student will be getting 716, and if one question is wrong, the student will be getting 715. So the possibility of marks are 715, 716 or 720. But this year, it was shocking to see some students have got 718 and 719. Later, we came to know that the reason for 718 and 719 was grace marks, and this was never done before. Later, the reason NTA gave for grace marks was the paper was distributed late across few centers. So, to compensate that time, they gave grace marks. For example, if the paper was given 10 minutes late, they thought ki okay, the student might have attempted 10 more questions in 10 minutes, so they gave 40 marks in grace. Can you believe it? What if the paper was given 1 hour late? Then technically, according to this logic, the student should get, 240 grace marks. Right. Very nice. It is estimated that 1,563 students have got the grace marks, but the list of the names of the students who have got the grace marks and the number of marks given in grace is not yet declared. Now let's do a small comparison of the rank from the previous year and this year. If a student scored 650 marks, in 2023 the rank was 5,000 and in 2024 the rank was 29,000. Can you believe this? If a student scored 625 marks, the rank in 2023 was 10,000 and in 2024 it was 50,000. Can you see the increase in the rank?
When the results came out, a lot of panicked students reached out to the NTA demanding an explanation for the discrepancies of the result. But the answer given by the NTA was so surprising.
I have a message for all the NEET aspirants. I completely understand that you might have given your everything. You have sacrificed your birthday, all the happening events in your life in order to just score good in the exam. And even after scoring good, your rank doesn't look good. It's sad, but if thousands of students across India are saying, we want justice, this means something wrong might have happened. And in this case, it is the system which is at fault. It is the failure of the system and not you as an individual. The good influencers are doing their job, they're filing the petitions in the court, but you will also have to file the PIL with your OMR sheet so that there is more pressure put on them and they will be forced to take the action. We have to win this battle legally and through the power of social media. Something like this might even happen in future. Like in UPSC, there are two exams. You have to clear your prelims and mains. Do you think something like this should also be applicable for the medical students? Because, for example, if someone has scored 620 and someone has scored 630, just because of the 10 marks difference, do you think the guy who has scored 630 is more deserving than someone who has scored 620? What is the criteria to judge who is more deserving or not? Is it just NEET, or should that be also a interview round or something like that, by the colleges, so that they can filter out from the top students who have scored good marks? So based on the NEET marks as well as the interview round or an exam conducted by the colleges can decide okay, you can get the admission or not. Even if a student has scored more marks in an unrightful way, this will give an equal opportunity to a student who has scored in a rightful way. I am not any scholar, this is just a suggestion. The decision should be taken by the higher authority, and hopefully, with time, all the students will get the justice. All the NEET aspirants, stay strong. Please don't commit any wrong step. You will get the justice.